Danganronpa 2x2 was announced recently, and it's being advertised as a full redone version of Danganronpa 2 with an additional side story that is equally as long as the original game. And that for me excites me, and I really want to know what's going on with this game. So we took a first look at the trailer earlier, but then our friend on Discord, ChinikuT, noted that Spike Chunsoft producer Sakakibara Shohei did an interview with Famitsu, and the Danganronpa community has posted that interview on Reddit. So I wanted to take a look at this interview. I wanted to read through it together, and let's see what more is coming in Danganronpa in the future. I hope y'all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. My name is FlightlessBird. This is your story-based gaming channel, and we have played a lot of the Uchikoshi games, and we've also played a few of the Kodaka games, but I played Danganronpa 1 through 3 and Ultra Despair Girls before I had a channel, but I played through them, and I love the series. And right now we're playing through the 100 line, which is Kodaka's and Uchikoshi's crossover, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. So I'm really excited to see more Danganronpa, and especially the theories of what 2x2 could be, considering 2x2, 2x2, 2 times 2 would be 4, and 2x2 could be 2 divided by 2, which would be 1. So this could be Danganronpa 1, this could be Danganronpa 4, it could be just a side story. We're getting a lot of side stories lately, haven't we? I mean, Uchikoshi put out No Sleep for Kaname Date, and that makes me wonder, okay, is this a side story, or is this something a little bit more than what we're expecting? But let's go ahead and read this interview together and discuss, share theories, comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and let's all keep it positive, because we're all excited about more Danganronpa, right? Considering this announcement at Danganronpa's 15th anniversary, what was the intention behind making this new title plus remake on the foundations of DR2 instead of the first one? This is something that I was very sus about, because I thought, what about Danganronpa 1? And apparently a lot of you guys in the comment section of that first video, you're bigger fans of DR2 than DR1. I always thought DR1 was better than DR2, so I'm in the minority here, and I'm very happy to see that there's a lot more people who love DR2 considering this has come out. At the same time, it was noted by a few people that Monokuma's voice actor subtly hints that on the anniversary of Danganronpa there's something coming, so maybe the DR1 remake is coming then, and this is just like an appetizer? Unsure. But Sakakibara says, the first idea we considered was a remake and reboot for Danganronpa 1. The starting concept for this project was changing the plot without changing the lore and cast, but we eventually realized DR1's narrative is too central to Danganronpa, and making changes to it would have too many consequences for the rest of this series. For that reason, after going over all possibilities, we came to the conclusion that DR2 is a game we can use to offer the playbase a new Danganronpa without breaking the pre-established Danganronpa lore. This is the belief that defined the current shape of the project. You see, I disagree with that. I think that if you're going to not break the lore of Danganronpa, redo Danganronpa V3. And instead of the ending, which I'm not a huge fan of, do something different with it. Do something different with the story. Make Danganronpa V3 a true sequel to Danganronpa 2. I think that would work better than redoing Danganronpa 2, unless they had something else planned for 2x2. And that goes back to what I've been saying, that maybe this is recontextualizing Danganronpa 1 or adding to it. Maybe this is Danganronpa 4. Maybe this is Danganronpa 3. I was told that there was a difference between Danganronpa 3 and Danganronpa V3. Apparently, Danganronpa 3 is the anime, which I haven't seen yet, and I've been told I need to see it. So I can't fully comment on that yet, but I always thought Danganronpa V3 was Danganronpa 3 until I've been told otherwise. Is the new scenario going to be the original DR2 plot with a few different twists, or is it going to actually change everything from the moment they set foot in Jabberwock Island? So before reading this, I'm assuming that this is going to happen before they set foot on Jabberwock Island. That's what I'm assuming, because something is going to happen that changes everything. Now, they are in a... Okay, obviously there's spoilers for this video because I played Danganronpa 2. So if you haven't watched or played Danganronpa 2, don't watch this video because I will be talking about Danganronpa 2. But they are in a simulator, right? So it would make a lot of sense to change the story of Danganronpa 2 considering they're not really there. But yeah. Okay, let's see. The ladder. You nailed the description. It starts with the exact same lead-in, then a special event happens during the intro. And then the narrative begins to greatly deviate to it. I must add that this is not a route split. The new scenario and remake are laid out as two completely independent games. So the latter means they do go to Jabberwock Island, but then something happens. I mean, with this simulator, it's very easy to make something else happen, right? Does that mean that all relevant plot points from the story set before Danganronpa 2, Danganronpa 0? What is Danganronpa 0? I do not know that. I need to go research that. Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls, which is so underrated, I've said that before, are still canonical to 2x2. Exactly. Okay, that's cool, because I thought one of my biggest complaints about Danganronpa V3 early on was they kind of just ignored Ultra Despair Girls completely. And I think that sucks because the way Ultra Despair Girls ended is very good and sets up a lot. So I would like to see more from UDG. Hopefully we do in this one and it's not ignored. And the thing is, in V3 at like the opening cinematic, you see the UDG stuff in the opening cinematic and then it just disappears. And I got annoyed by that. Wait, so it's going to be a new version that doesn't continue into Danganronpa 3 side feature. I'm assuming that's the anime. You will have to play the game yourself to find out how 2x2 ends. Interesting. Yeah, it's obviously a new story, so it can't play directly into it. But then what does it play into? Does it play into the... It's very possible that Danganronpa 2x2 could be a parallel game. So like how Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow are parallel books. If you know the Ender series, you know what I'm talking about, by Orson Scott Card. But it's possible that 2x2 could be a side story and basically split the timeline. So you have Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2, Danganronpa 3, Danganronpa V3, and then Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2x2, and then a new Danganronpa 3. That's potentially possible. I really need to see these animes. I never knew these things existed. I always thought that the anime, because I watched the first couple episodes of the Danganronpa anime, and I noticed that it was just Danganronpa 1 except rushed. And I wasn't a fan of that. I'm like, if I'm gonna watch a rushed version of Danganronpa, I'd rather just play the game. But yeah, apparently it is a little bit different, so I need to go back and watch that. But I don't know what Danganronpa 0 is. Let me know in the comment section below. DR2 introduced new class trial minigames in the form of Rebuttal Shutdown, Logic Drive, and others. Is the gameplay side also going to change? This will be announced at a later date. I'm more interested to see if they implement things from Danganronpa V3 into Danganronpa 2. That to me interests me more than the gameplay changes, because I assume, yes, that's going to be in the game. I don't know why it says that one to be announced at a later date. I would just assume that would be, unless it's not, right? We already know the setting, Jabberwock Island, and the core cast of characters is still the same. But what about the cast of voice actors? Thankfully, we managed to rehire the same voices for every character without replacements. That is amazing! And I was just streaming Final Fantasy 12 today, and they mentioned that Tanaka Gundam mentioned that he was, or I was told that he's under like an NDA, so he can't say anything, but it's implied that he came back, that he's coming back for Danganronpa 2x2. And to see all the voice actors return is awesome. I don't mind when a game changes voice actors, by the way, with the new Personas games, there have been a lot of talk about changing the voice actors. I'm okay with it. I'd rather see the originals return, obviously. But the game is not fresh. This game has been out for a long time. So sometimes you may have to recast the characters. And I understand that, and I accept it. But to hear that the original cast is back, that fills me with joy to know that they're all returning. So that's really, really cool. Have you hired new voices for Monokuma, Oyama Nobuyo originally, Kodako is DR3, and Manami's Suzuka Kako as the 3 previous actresses tragically passed away? Really? I didn't know that. That's sad. Yes, we managed to hire new voices. We'll announce them at an appropriate occasion. Look forward to it. By the way, this is the Japanese interview, so even though they say that they rehired their voice actors, that doesn't necessarily mean that the original English voice actors are returning. So we'll have to wait for news about that. But I am hopeful that they can get all the English voice actors returned, because I always rather see that than replacing, but I understand sometimes you do need to be replaced. I know some people get hurt about that, but I mean, that's just the way things are when you have a game that's being remade after, 10, 20 years. I'd like to ask you a question about DR2's remake. What's new about the remake? The script is largely untouched. We rewrote it to fit within the new gameplay mechanics. All characters were redrawn, and the Jabberwock Island backgrounds were redesigned. The hotel in particular had its design altered completely, with heavy emphasis on the feeling of a tropical resort. Why? Like, I can understand redrawing the characters because it's a remake. I mean, you would want to do that, right? And someone mentioned that the Monokuma sprite looks a lot like the Monokuma sprite from V3. I couldn't really tell much of a difference, but it's been a while since I played the games. Why alter the hotel site completely? Unless you want to add more to it, or maybe add more crime scenes to it. Maybe someone dies in a different way in the hotel and it feels fresh because it's a new setting. I'm a little bit curious about that one. Well, the game still contained the bonus mode, Dangan Island, and the minigame, Magical Girl Miracle Star Manami. This will be announced at a later date. Why not? Why not at least in the original game have it? Maybe not 2x2 because you're already doing a bunch of new stuff in 2x2. But why not have that at least in the original game? I also would really like to see them add the S game that came out, whatever that was. I didn't play it yet because it was a spin-off of Danganronpa 2, which I would rather play Danganronpa 2. I haven't had a reason to play Danganronpa 2 in a while, but now I kind of do. I kind of hope that they can add the S into this collection and just make it a complete Danganronpa 2 collection. This game already has a lot going for it. But considering how much is in the 100 line, this still feels small in comparison to that. And if they can do that in the 100 line, why not do that for the Danganronpa 2 collection? That would be cool. So include Dangan Island, Magical Manami, and also include S. And maybe even a new bonus mode for specifically 2x2. I'm all for that. That would be great. Make that happen. That would be great. Well, the remake uses the same voice lines as the original, will include re-recordings and performances by the new actors. All voice lines were re-recorded for the remake. As I already mentioned, we managed to hire all voice actors from the original except for Monokuma and Manami. Why not? Like, why re-record it then? If it's the same exact lines, and it's the same exact script, why would you need to record it? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. If it's the same voice lines, why would you need to redo it? Maybe because technology is better now and they'll sound better, but I thought they sounded great in the original. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not an expert at these things. I'm not an expert game journalist. I'm not someone who follows these things like as a living. So I may be wrong. I'm just a huge fan trying to share my love of this series with you so we can have a conversation about this, so we can talk cool things about Danganronpa. That's all this video is trying to do, is just to love this series and show a love to Danganronpa and be excited for Danganronpa. What's the expected length of the new scenario? The same as the original or longer? Huh. So I remember reading the website, it said, you know, equal length. The fact that he says or longer. The fact that he says or is really interesting. Why would he say or? Does he not know? Is the game not done yet? Strikes me as odd. Are the legend of Kodaka Kazutaka and Komozuki Ryu from Tokyo Games involved in the production? Yes. Kodaka has the roles of story supervisor, original idealizer, and murder mystery creator in this game. Tokyo Games is involved in the production as we are. Okay, so one of my things I said was no sleep for Kaname Date. Uchikoshi he didn't have direct involvement with it per se. He kind of oversaw it. And I thought Kodaka was also overseeing this game because in the credits, it doesn't really mention that he's actively involved. Here, they mention that they are actively involved. Not just that, but involved in the production as we are. That means that this very well could be the next game in the series. I'm starting to believe that more and more with everything I read. I already thought that when I saw this, but I'm starting to believe more and more that this isn't just a side story. This is something big. Like, this is gonna be huge. And I could be disappointed later, but right now my hype level is like, you know, through the roof. Well, the 15th anniversary event on November 2025 had test play boosts and announcements for 2x2. Yes, that will be the earliest test play opportunity worldwide. More details will be announced at a later date. Okay, so nothing. Would be nice if they asked a question about, do you have anything else planned in Danganronpa for November 2025? We're gonna have to keep an eye on that date and come back to this again. By the way, what's the official pronunciation for 2x2? 2x2. We know that because that was in the trailer. In the trailer, it said 2x2. That's how I know. Any final message to the reader? Excited for the new game. Thank you for your patience, fans. We can finally deliver you new Danganronpa. The game is a remake/reboot, but with a brand new story. I hope you look forward to the release. You'll soon find out what the future has in store for Hinata, for Komeda, and the Danganronpa series. I am more excited than I was before, because before I was thinking, well, it's probably just a side story like Koshi did. I don't know. I feel this could be something bigger. Absolutely. I feel like this could be something bigger. But then again, I don't know. I'm not Kodaka. I'm not Tokyo Games. I don't work for them. I don't follow the news as avidly as some other people do. I don't have connections to Japan, to what they're doing. I'm just someone who, like I said, loves this series and am eagerly waiting for November 25 and more information about this game, because I don't think these are the people who are going to spoil things. Like, you would sometimes watch a trailer for a game and then you get spoiled on like major things that happen in the game. This is not going to happen with these guys. These guys are going to find a way to make us have a ton of theories, and then they're going to take all these theories and they're going to toss them aside and give us something that's even bigger than what we expected. And if it's not, and if it is just a side story, the fact that you're getting Danganronpa 2 remade for modern consoles, plus a side story of Danganronpa 2 in one package with potentially S, I'm still hoping that they put S in, as one collection, that's pretty dang cool. That's amazing. So just for that, we should be hyped. But the potential that this could be something more makes us hyped even more. But let's not be disappointed if this isn't what we want it to be. The fact is, we have more Danganronpa. So if this isn't what we want it to be, that doesn't mean that what we want to be isn't going to come later. It still could come. And if this game, this collection is a huge hit, almost undoubtedly, more will come. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And by the way, yes, I did forget to put my penguin on screen for this. Darn it. I'm sorry. Next time I do a react, I'll try to put my penguin up there so you can see the bird flapping around when I talk. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you all think. Once again, thank you ChinnaQT for letting me know that this was posted on Reddit. It's a couple days old, but at the same time, I'm glad to read it. I'm glad to know more about it, and I want to know more about it. And as I learn more about it, if you guys like what we do here, give the video a thumbs up, to like the video and subscribe, and let me know. Hey, Flightless, if you find any more details out, give us more videos like this. We'd love to know. And if you do, sure, I'll be glad to try to do what I can so that we can, again, share our love of the Danganronpa universe. Until next time, my dear friends, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video and being the #1 YouTube community in all of YouTube. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear from you. And remember that you matter, you are brilliant, and you are loved. Always be true to yourself and never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.